Today we go over new details of Star Wars Episode 9, the final film of the Skywalker saga. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, what's really great is that we've been hearing a lot more about the final installment of the sequel trilogy. We do know that they're filming over in Pinewood within the UK, as well as the Cardington Sheds. Now, we do know that JJ Abrams will be using tons of unused footage from both The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi in order to bring back General Leia, portrayed by Carrie Fisher. So I gotta really give a lot of props to JJ and her brother Todd Fisher for making that happen. But moving on away from all of this, like I said, these past couple of weeks we've been learning a whole lot more about this movie. And recently, a group of young kids in between the ages of 8 to 10 will be working with Daisy Ridley for a small scene for Episode 9 that is to be shot this September. So this sounds very similar to, I would say, about 2 months ago when we heard about the toddler that was cast. And we were thinking that maybe it could either be a young Ben Solo or perhaps even Rey's child because of the big plot leak that we heard about that everybody was talking about back in May of this year. And this too also connects to that plot leak back in May. I don't know if you guys remember, but everybody was talking about it, and one part of it had a group of Chiss children. Alright, Chiss is like the species of Grand Admiral Thrawn. These children actually lead our heroes and or Rey into the unknown regions. They essentially know the path and they know their ways around the unknown regions and whatnot, and they guide them, and that's their part of the movie. It's a very brief part, apparently, and that would make sense as to why they would be in a small scene with Daisy Ridley. I'm sure they're going to be with other actors and or actresses if this scene comes into fruition in Episode 9. Now, the whole entire idea of bringing the Chiss species on screen for a Star Wars movie, I think is brilliant. The fact, though, that, you know, they are going to be leading our heroes into the unknown regions, I'm not quite sure how I would feel about that. I would much prefer where our heroes just kind of find themselves in the unknown regions, and then they kind of like have to find their way. But you know what? Come to think of it like this. If you look at Pirates of the Caribbean, which is also a Disney-owned franchise, you do see very similar patterns just like this, where they run into, you know, a group of people and they lead them the way, and that's how it may very well be in Episode 9. So looking at Star Wars as a whole, it seems as so that the unknown regions is becoming more and more likely as a plot element in Episode 9, which I think would make a lot of fans happy, and I also believe that that's something that a lot of fans want to see on screen. We've never really actually explored the unknown regions in a Star Wars movie in depth at all. So that's the thing. There's a lot of things coming for this movie. We do know that this film is said to have the most planets out of every Star Wars movie, as well as the most characters out of every Star Wars film to date. So there are a lot of things coming, and that's one thing that I'm most, certainly looking forward to. So as far as Rey goes, that's the one thing. We do know that brief scenes are being shot for this with the kids that were just cast between the ages of 8 to 10. They won't be doing their scene until September. Whether it's going to be the beginning or the end of that month, no clue, but it will be with Daisy Ridley. Now, we do know that some week within September is when Mark Hamill shoots with both Daisy and Adam on a specific set over at Pinewood, and that got a lot of people talking that maybe it could very well be a sequence where he appears as a Force ghost in front of Kylo, and he also appears as a Force ghost in front of Rey, separately or perhaps even both. That to me would be pretty surprising. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think about the whole entire concept of Chiss children leading our heroes into the unknown regions. If this actually comes out to be in Episode 9, how would you feel about that? I would really like to hear what you have to say about this, about the whole entire concept of children essentially leading our heroes throughout or into the unknown regions. Now, the possibility of Grand Admiral Thrawn now, I think, could very well be even more likely. If you look at Richard E. Grant, he's one of the actors that was recently cast for this movie, And he was in Logan, and if you look at him in Logan, examine him at the very end of the movie, you could tell he really has the same facial structure, the same exact hairline, everything that Grand Admiral Thrawn has. And if you just look at him closely, and then look at the Rebels version of Thrawn, back and forth, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And I think that there's a great chance now that he's going to be Thrawn in this film. I wouldn't doubt it. But anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to morning.